shit, we're alive, motherfuckers. Yay. Woo. So, to whoever decides to watch, thanks for tuning in. Um, it's the Foxy Nerds Hangout. Hopefully, I'll start doing these more often. Not just with the Netflix series, but with movies and shit. So, I would leave them up to, Sequester Zone, but, he's gone. May his channel rest in peace. But he does have the archives channel, so you guys should definitely check that out because yeah, they're fucking awesome. So let's see who we got. So we got Chris, we got Edible Napalm, we got Jay, and we got Sammy. So let's just get into it, y'all. So I'm assuming everyone has seen all 13 episodes of Jessica Jones.
Watched them day one.
I mean, it took me a little time to get to it, but...
I was like immediately ready to talk about this. I was like, oh my god, Nuke's in this! Who the fuck thought they'd ever see Nuke in something? It's like, oh my god, Hellcat, she's fucking amazing, and I just love this. It's the bestest.
I thought we would see Nuke before we saw Hellcat, actually.
Do you think she's gonna marry Son of Satan, like in the comics? I think it's just now Satan because Ghost Rider killed Satan, and now Damien Hellstrom's in charge of Hell.
I don't know. I don't think they'd go that way with the Netflix series. But who knows?
That's true. But I mean, man, I'm sorry. I didn't at first. I didn't know like where they were going with the cop who turned out to be the crazy sort of racist popping pills guy.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, are they doing something with him? Because like they're focusing a lot of time on him. And then as soon as I saw like the pills and shit, I was like, is that fucking Nuke? And then like he pops the pills and he gets super strength.
Well, I had read that he was playing a version of Nuke, but I forgot about it when I was watching the show until we got to that part.
Yeah, actually, Jay was the one who put me onto that. I'm like, who is this motherfucker? He's like, oh, I didn't know that they were having Nuke. I'm like, who the fuck is Nuke?
I will say I hope he's not the main villain for season 2.
Yeah. I don't know, like, the whole thing with him was really abrupt, though. I think they should have saved some of that for season 2 rather than cram it into season 1. So it's like there's more of a arc there instead of, like, I don't know, I know what they were going with. It's like he's, like, a really macho guy and being controlled by the Purple Man, like, kind of unhinged him a bit.
Yeah.
And he's jealous of Jessica because she has powers and stuff, but it like just seemed really abrupt that he goes from he's a good guy then he's a bad guy, and like no one's really like that upset about it, really either.
Well, I mean, I was pretty upset because like it was bad enough like her apartment is her apartment. It is what it is. Her office is her apartment and stuff like that. But just fucking up my walls and shit, I'd be pissed off too.
But there isn't just like a kind of emotional complexity to like that shift. It's just kind of just happens and the characters just accept it.
Him up.
Yeah, she's the one who beats him up at the end.
I enjoyed that very much. So, what else did we enjoy about the series? Because I know for me, like, I watched one episode, and then I had to stop and take, like, a good 45-minute to an hour break just to digest what the fuck I saw. And Kilgrave, he really hadn't even made, like, we didn't even see his face yet, so yeah.
Well, there's one scene in particular I want a lot of people, like a lot of the Punisher fanboys, to remember when Punisher comes out is when Jessica is like using Kilgrave kind of as a force for good. When Kilgrave's like, I'll do whatever you want. I'll let you decide how I use my powers. And she uses them to help stop that hostage situation. Mm-hmm. And Kilgrave just kills the fucking dad because it's like, well, he's a piece of shit and he's never going to amount to anything in society, so fuck it, I'm doing society a favor by killing him. That's Punisher logic, motherfuckers. Remember all that when you're fucking touting Frank Castle as a fucking hero.
Punisher's still one of my favorites. I don't
I
care.
hate him.
Yeah, I think like they're doing a good thing, like bringing him into Daredevil because he works better as a foil for someone like Daredevil than like to have.
Yeah, he should be. I hope they use him in Daredevil as like, this is the guy you don't want to be, Matt Murdock. This is the line you don't want to cross.
Do we know when he's introduced in, I guess, season 2 of Daredevil, right? Would he be a villain, or is he coming in as a hero?
I think he's coming in kind of as like quasi-villain.
Yeah,
Maybe eventual hero.
They
Well,
said
like, because he's basically like an anti-hero, so anti-hero, quasi, if they go by, since it's going to be more mature, so if they go by, Garth Ennis Max Punisher, then
Yeah, that's gonna be a dark fucking Punisher where he's like, yeah, I'm a fucking monster, but like, I don't care. I kill other monsters, so whatever.
and
and it's funny
Frank
that it's
Miller.
that the guy who plays the guy who was Shane is actually going to be Punisher. Like, oh god.
Yeah, the Frank Miller run of Daredevil uses the Punisher kind of similar to how I think they're going to use him. Because he's just someone who shows up and they're usually after the same guy, and then Daredevil has to stop Punisher from killing them. It tends to happen over and over again in the Frank Miller run. The original
Okay.
one.
Oh, because I know that I hadn't read his stuff on Daredevil.
All I know is when they bring him on the Netflix series, I want him to just kill as many mafia guys as possible and like put in like one of those mines toward this side and just blow motherfuckers up, because that's the best Punisher.
I just want nothing but Netflix series at this point.
Exactly, like seriously.
Marvel, cancel everything else except for Captain America Civil War, because that looks awesome, but like, fuck it, just Netflix everything.
They've also started production on Doctor Strange.
Well, that's good. I was never really into him, but I may give the movie a shot because I wasn't really into Marvel's like space stuff like Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy. But I went and saw the movie and I liked it. So
Yeah,
He's
like, I
one
don't-
of those characters I hesitate to say. It's like, well, he'll probably get one movie and then he'll be like a major background character. Because I thought that was going to be Jessica Jones. Like, going in, I was like, the series is probably going to be good, but like, I don't know if there'd be like the hunger or the need there for a second season. And then after watching it, it's like, yes, second season now, please, before Daredevil season 2. I want more of this.
what, you didn't like the Daredevil series that much?
I love Daredevil, but like in pretty much every way, Jessica Jones is better.
It's a lot more in-depth story, definitely. A lot more character detail.
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
fucking Purple Man is a more complete villain. Like I like not Frank Castle. I like Wilson Fisk from Daredevil, but like Daredevil's like an origin story for both Fisk and Murdoch. So like Kingpin's not really Kingpin until the last episode.
Yeah.
I don't
Whereas
know.
Purple Man is just like, I'm a
I don't
creepy
know.
fucking guy from start one.
Yeah, like everyone's established Jessica Jones. Like we don't really know exactly how Kilgrave got his powers. I don't remember them necessarily going over it.
It's like a virus.
Right? Yeah, that's right. It's a virus.
Yeah, I think in the comics he gets them from an accident.
Yeah, he's like a Czechoslovakian spy, and he gets
Yeah.
like dumped in chemicals.
And he has the powers, but then he also gets his skin turned purple, which I think it made sense not to make his skin purple in a Netflix series, or to only show it like a little bit.
Well,
Yeah, like
it was a
towards the
subtle
end.
hint.
Got the power up towards the end.
Yeah, the little sort of subtle hints with the purple suits that he would wear. Or at least one of the episodes he had a purple suit.
That was actually much better, and it actually makes me, rethink liking purple a little bit.
It allows him to like blend into the world too.
I know it's made a lot of people rethink liking David Tennant. because he's just that's the one fear I have. Like if they're gonna go Purple Man is the virus and not the person. Like I hope they don't recast Purple Man. I hope they pull some bullshit like, oh, the virus mutates the body into David Tennant.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? That's ridiculous, but I'll buy it just to have David Tennant back. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he was really good, and I'm not a Whovian, so I didn't know where he came from at first, but he's a really good Purple Man.
He played it really
He's
well.
fucking creepy and like at the same time like slightly sympathetic, but like he's like a good villain where like you have sympathy for him, but at the same time it's like, well, he still shouldn't be doing the things he's doing.
Yeah, like I almost had a hint of sympathy for him, finding out his backstory, but at the same time that my mind goes back to
And then you find out his full
episode
backstory.
1. Yeah, my mind goes back to episode 1 where he programmed the girl to kill her parents.
It does bring up an interesting point though, that like he makes like a lot of times he just makes a vague suggestion, and then like with and this is major spoiler, but like we've already spoiled shit, so fuck it. When Jessica kills Luke Cage's wife, he's just like, deal with her. He doesn't say punch her in the chest.
Yeah, that was her assumption for some reason. It's like, I didn't tell you to kill her. I just said get her away, get rid of her.
That's what they did with the character of Malcolm. Like Kilgrave made him do things, but he was wondering like how much of that is who he was before Kilgrave. And they had like that as a subtext throughout like all the characters really. Because Kilgrave is like he says that like basically like he's the person he is because of what happened to him. And in the end, I thought they were super on the nose about it, but at the end, like Jessica Jones basically says in her voiceover something that's similar like that. So it's really like the whole theme of the show.
It's really just great. I think that's honestly, like, I think that's probably why I like Jessica Jones better than Daredevil overall. Is like Jessica Jones has has much stronger like themes and shit in it.
Right.
Where like Daredevil is just like, look at this motherfucker kick some ass, isn't that awesome? And it was awesome.
To go back to Kilgrave's origins, right now, a lot of it's coming back to me with how so he was pretty much a lab rat. But he was a lab rat because they wanted to either extract the virus or just cure it from him. But eventually, it comes to a point where they realize the university kind of stops it. So they bring Kilgrave back, to the house, and they're taking care of him. But he keeps telling, obviously with Kilgrave able to manipulate people, he keeps telling his parents what to do, and he gets to this temper tantrum and tells his mom to burn her face with an iron. That's when they felt the need to just leave him alone, and he had this big resentment over it. It's separation anxiety, where it's where he's yelling at his parents, you left me alone to fend myself. I had to tell people to take care of me, and all this resentment. It really actually brings in a lot of sympathy and emotion to the character, where it's like, oh, his parents abandoned him. He just wanted somebody to love him. He wanted his parents' love, but instead they abandoned him because they were frightened of him. But at the same time, it's like they're frightened of him because of what he's done to them.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is what they made, what they made him to be and everything, but at the same time, it's just like any kid. After a while, it's sort of like, okay, your parents did screw you over and all that. They did do this to you, but after a while you can choose to either keep going with that or just, going about it on your own. So, or making your own path. That's why I'm like I'm sort of with Jessica. It's like, look, my parents were fucking killed by, my parents were hit by a big truck and shit, and you don't see me like taking my shit out on other people and other trucks and all that. So
yeah, like he's a selfish brat, really, at the end of the day. Cause he wants Jessica.
Yeah, that's where Jessica made fun of his stupid name, like Kilgrave, because she's like, that sounds like something a teenager would name themselves.
Yeah. Just call yourself Murder Corpse.
Especially
Yeah.
like in terms of like in the timeline, like he probably would have been a kid during the '90s, so he would have probably like Image Comics and garbage like that. And be like, dude, it's like Kill and Grave.
What was his first name again in the series?
Kevin.
In the comics, it's Zebediah, but in this, I think it's like Kevin Thompson or something like that.
Yeah, it's Kevin Thompson is his name in the show.
Also, we haven't talked about Luke Cage yet, and how awesome he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He was pretty awesome, and he was also a pretty lazy fighter. But I mean, I get it. You know, you have unbreakable skin. You don't really have to do much.
How bored he looked and everything, and like all the
He was so
like when the dude,
like,
when the dude stabs it in the neck, he's like, "Did you fucking stab me in the fucking neck? Like what the?"
he's like, really, dude? Like, did you like? Oh, really? Try
Well,
that.
everyone he fights is someone he knows he can hurt, so it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's no reason for him to really fight.
There were
It's
some
no
people.
reason to beat everyone's ass. It's kind of, not much of a fight. Can't look too panicked.
There were some people bitching, like, why is Jessica portrayed as being stronger than Luke? And it's like, well, strength was never Luke's thing, really. He has unbreakable skin.
Yeah.
That's Luke's thing.
Also, it's her show, so he had like that kind of Buffy.
I mean, he does have super strength. Like, he's not like some weakling, but like I took it from the show. Like, Luke has more endurance, like, and Jessica has more raw physical strength. Like, fucking, she could punch a wall or fucking shit like that. Was notice after they had the bid breaking sex, Jessica was the only one with marks on her.
Well, I mean, it's not like she does. It's not like she has unbreakable skin. Sadly.
I remember I seen a tweet about not so much about the complaint, but making note of the complaint that people were saying that during the bar brawl that how is it that Jessica Jones, who has skinny wrists, is able to throw around men who are twice forearms that are thicker than her wrists. Like, and they try to make this point of like, oh, is there super
Because
strength
her
magic?
bones are fucking basically solid steel.
Yeah, I think it was more of a critique of Kristen Ritter and her body size or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like,
But it didn't really make sense. But yeah.
it's. I can understand like critiques with the story, especially like if people have issues on maybe how they dealt with rape and PTSD and things like that, which I don't see why, because I think they handled it really good. But like small details like that, like, oh, her body size, how can she do this and how can she do that with her body type size, and why didn't they have anybody else come in and help her out and yada yada yada. And it's like, why do you care about that?
Nobody said that in like the Spider-Man movies when it was like Tobey Maguire like picking up cars and stuff like that. No one was like, no, Tobey Maguire is too small to do that. Nobody said that then.
And nobody was like, oh, well, why doesn't he get somebody?
I actually bitched about it, but I bitched about it in the exact opposite direction. I was like, Tobey Maguire is too fucking big to be Spider-Man. It's like fucking, he's like 6'6".
Right. Wait, really?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire's like a tall dude. That's why they got him in that Seabiscuit movie, was because he was so tall and he looked weird riding horses.
Google says he's 5'8", so
Really? I thought he was like 6 foot. Oh.
no.
Oh, fuck.
Same difference, Matt.
6'6", 5'8".
Also, I just don't like Tobey Maguire too, so I was like, that'd be like casting Johnny Depp as fucking Doctor Strange. Like,
Which at first the rumors were out about that, and I was not feeling that because I don't want to see fucking Captain Jack Sparrow as Doctor Strange. I'm not here for that.
He's in too much shit. Just We need different people. We need more variety of actors. God damn it.
Yeah, just like every action girl, movie, people want to get like Angelina Jolie, and I'm just like, or Jennifer Lawrence, or the chick in Divergent. I'm just like, I'm not here for that. Like, switch it up a little bit.
That's why I'm kind of down on Cumberbatch being Doctor Strange, because I'm like, that's the obvious pick, Marvel.
Really? You think it was obvious for them to pick Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, because like he's like the weird kind of like British dude who's like vaguely magical and shit, and he's got like a weird, unique voice. If anything, I would have cast him as Demoru. Or as Blackheart. That'd be fucking great. Like Cumberbatch and his deep ass fucking voice as the son of Mephisto.
Or Dormammu, you mean?
Yeah, Dormammu.
Right.
I always fuck up his name.
It will be interesting to see Cumberbatch with a mustache like Doctor Strange has.
Honestly, I thought the one dude from Boardwalk Empire should be Doctor Strange. The guy who played the half-a-face dude.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, that guy? Or
Yeah.
or Michael Shannon?
No, the dude who played the half-a-face dude.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, okay. It could be him, or I thought it could. I thought it could be Michael Shannon. The guy that plays.
I don't think it's Michael Shannon.
Really?
It might be.
Because I thought either him or even maybe get a person of color like Oded Fair, because he looks good with the mustache and shit. So, and he could pull it off. I think.
Michael B. Jordan.
Jack Hudson, by the way.
Jack
should
Hudson.
Should be good in a good Marvel franchise.
I could have sworn he was up for a role, up for a different Marvel role. I don't know what. Anyways, yeah, that would have been good. He has more of the face too of Strange. By the way, I wanted to mention earlier when we first brought up Strange that I always get confused with him and Dr. Fate in DC. They're very kind of similar.
With who?
Well, the thing with Fate is he has a helmet.
Yeah, that. But still,
yeah, Dr. Fate has a helmet, the yellow helmet. Not exactly the same thing, Sammy.
I always get confused with the two. Just magic. Superhero.
Also, like going back to Jessica Jones, it's just made me hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even more now.
I still watch it.
Cause like if they had a character like Nuke or Hellcat on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they would have fucking wasted them.
Really?
And like Jessica Jones, it's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see more of Nuke and fucking Hellcat. Maybe not Nuke as the main villain of season 2, but like, he could be a dragon, he could be a heavy.
It's funny, I think I've only watched one episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was just when Blair Underwood's character was outed as Lash, I think that is.
Yeah.
That's the only one I watched.
Not even cool. Because it's not actually Blair Underwood playing Lash, it's just a big fucking football player guy. And he's like a dumb monster when he's Lash, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just never really called my name. Once.
I think Marvel's scared with the Inhumans a bit, because they do want, like, it is obvious they want to turn them into the mutant stand-in.
Yeah.
But they do have, like, this weird eugenics bent to them. Like, that's how the Inhumans get their powers and shit. Like, they choose who's the purest of the blood to go into the Terrigen crystals, and whoever has the purest of the pure blood, they're the royal family. It's just all weird and shit, and it's like, you're gonna have to do some real work around that fucking shit, Marvel.
Well, I mean, I think they're doing that now because they just let a fucking Terrigen cloud just hop on, they just unleashed the Terrigen cloud on Earth. So it's like fucking Inhumans are popping up left and right. I mean, that's how we got Kamala Kamala Khan as the new Miss Marvel because she just
And
stumbled into like a fucking Terrigen cloud.
they did that too with like in Agents of Shield with like the fish getting all of like the Terrigen mist and then people like eating them and like using fish oil and shit.
Oh. Ugh. Mm. So yeah, it kind of makes me a little. I
It
kind of
just
have
kind
some
of
feel.
bugs me.
I kind of have feelings about Inhumans being pushed as the mutants and stuff like that. But
And the other thing that bothers me too with Jessica Jones compared to Agents of Shield, thinking about it, is it's like in fucking like 13 episodes, like Jessica Jones established like a huge variety of ways to get fucking magical powers, and Agents of Shield has been stuck on fucking Inhumans since season 2.
yeah.
It's like, where the fuck's AIM?
I have a feeling they may, because they're mostly Captain America enemies and Shield enemies, right? Or just.
Well, AIM was in Iron Man 3. That was.
Oh right, that was
And like in the beginning of Agents of Shield in the first season, they are basically doing the Extremis.
Yeah, that's pretty much
continuation of that. So like AIM should show up on Agents of Shield. It makes sense.
Yeah, like that's something like because they do the Hydra subplot shit with like Agent Ward and shit. So I'd like to see like Hydra fight an AIM. Like that could be some interesting shit. Like see two villainous groups fighting each other.
I don't know, maybe.
Because it's like AIM built some shit and Hydra's like, we want that shit, and AIM's like, go fuck yourselves, we're keeping this shit, and Hydra's like, we got guns. And then AIM has like weird super science weapons.
But Hydra's had weird science mystical weapons too. I mean, they made a lot of shit thanks to the Scepter, since the Scepter.
Yeah, but they lost all of it.
Well, yeah, they lost it, but
that's a plot point in season 2 of Agents of Shield was like with Baron Strucker down. That was like the last big cell of Hydra. So like Agent Ward is pretty much leading what's left of it. Basically, they're in the same position that like the Shield was at the end of the first season, where it's like they're completely broke. They got like barely anything. I think they have like one base.
Which the main group of Avengers like don't even fucking know about. They don't even know that Coulson is alive. Which I cheated and I went on the Wikia for that, and it's like, how in the hell did they manage to bring him back? Whatever.
They injected him with Kree juice.
Injected him with Kree juice.
In season 1,
they gave him the Infinity Formula.
That's why I think Ronan the Accuser isn't dick, because I'm like, well, obviously they set up the Kree have some kind of healing ability. Like, why else would Samuel L. Jackson inject Coulson with fucking Kree juice if it didn't heal him? That would just be weird. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's just so fucking grief-stricken, he's like, inject him with the juice from the Blue Man! I don't care! Bring Coulson back, I loved him.
Oh, man. What the hell?
There's two Chris's.
There's two Chris's. What are you trying to do, man?
Yeah, that'll happen.
It bumped me out and I came back, and sometimes when you do that, there's two for a while.
Oh, okay. What, you pulling some tricks on us?
I'm actually Jamie Madrox.
Oh man, speaking of all these super people popping up out of nowhere, I really did enjoy that episode where the lady hired her, and at first we thought it was a real case, but it was just her of her husband cheating, but it was just the two of them wanting to like take out like super powered people because they're pissed off about the Battle of Manhattan and shit.
Yeah, they basically had the Ultimate Punisher's origin.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's Punisher's origin. It's like that's why he hates heroes like superpowered people in general. Is like his family died during the invasion of New York by like what were those fuckers? It was all awful and dumb, and like nobody should read the Ultimates.
They were okay for a time, and then they got
I
real.
like the new concept of the Ultimates in Marvel now.
The Ultimate now? Yeah, like
Where it's just like they're
the
the cosmic Avengers. Like
yeah,
we're
like
the Avengers when shit is like everything's just gonna die.
yeah, pretty much. We solved the ultimate problems.
And they got fucking Spectrum there, and like she's always been one of my favorite characters ever since Agents of Hate Next Wave.
Oh, that's where she comes from. Okay.
She's also the second Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers.
Mm.
Nobody remembers her as that though.
Shit. Now I gotta wiki that and cheat. I have no problem cheating. So I'll look that up. And I really dig the majority POC Avengers, Ultimates Avengers team. So
That's why I'm glad she's in the Ultimate team, because it's like, why is she fucking bumming it with like fucking like Machine Man and fucking Elsa Bloodstone? Like I love these characters and shit, but like she's got the same power level as fucking Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers.
I want to quickly go over Robin.
Actually, I think Spectrum's powers are greater because she actually has like the original Captain Marvel's blood going through her veins.
Sammy was trying to say something, Matt.
So I want to quickly go over Robin and Ruben, the twins in the series, because I have a hard time understanding them, particularly Robin, because she's such an asshole. Like,
yeah, Robin is a big asshole. Like at first, and it's weird because at first I thought they were a married couple, and then you find out that they're siblings. So it's
yeah,
like
they're twins. Just makes it.
They're twins,
yeah.
like fraternal twins. It's like I don't know, man. Like if I had a twin abusing me like that, they'd get beat the fuck up. Like,
but it's like a weird like dynamic because like Ruben is very vulnerable, baby. Via him coming out with a diaper. I think he was wearing it. I don't know if he was wearing. I knew he was wearing a diaper. It looked like a diaper. But so Robin is the anchor, so to speak. She's she's the dominant one and has to take care of Ruben. Ruben wants to obviously go out in the world, meet new people. That's why he falls in love with Jessica because she's this exotic, different person versus the woman that he's known in his life, primarily his sister. Which obviously gets him killed by Kilgrave because he tells Kilgrave that he's in love with her. Kilgrave doesn't care much for that, so he makes Ruben cut his own throat.
Yeah, between that and the shit that he did to the girl, making the girl kill her parents, it's like I was sort of kind of on board, like maybe she might be able to utilize him or what have you. But when she turned the tables on him and stuck the needle in his neck, I was so happy. I was like, oh, yes. Okay, so she's not... Okay, so just you're not that crazy.
I think they're trying to imply that she wants a way out other than killing him. Because at the end, they're like killing him... Like she's worried kind of like that killing somebody will change her. It's kind of implied. Especially with what she says at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and plus when she
honestly, that's kind of my one disappointment.
When she killed Luke's wife, like that was pretty much like broke his influence over her.
Yeah, so it's like she's worried about killing him, like what it would do to her. It's kind of what I thought they were going for with that.
Cause like thinking about it, like. She could have, like, put her hand through his fucking teeth and ripped his tongue out and been like, try to control people now, motherfucker. Like, you ain't getting a tongue transplant.
Yeah, she could have done that.
She could have crushed his jaw, like, just turned it to fucking dust.
Like, oh my god, what do you think we're watching here? The Pro, Matt?
I'm just like, it just makes me mad because it's like, God damn it, Marvel, we finally got like an actual interesting villain, and you kill him off like fucking Yellow Jacket.
It's also implied though that he can control people non-verbally as well, like because they say don't look at him and stuff. Like as long as you're in the room with him, like when his powers are like amplified, like he could do something because it's up to the person to interpret what he's doing. So he can do something like I don't know. Like I think my girlfriend said something separately, and I was like, no, but he'll just learn sign language and then teach
Or
it to
interpretive
everyone.
dance. But at the same time, it's like I kind of get it because it's like, what do you do with a fucking villain as strong as the fucking Purple Man? I guess you kind of have to kill him.
Yeah, I think that's what like the show is really going for, is like giving her like a time where she's trying to figure out how she can get out of it without killing him, and then Hope killing herself was, like her, like, look, you gotta kill him.
Like, Hope was pretty much the only reason why she wasn't going to kill him. And then when she was just like, screw this.
Well, I don't think that was even like the only reason why, because even when Hope's out of jail, like she doesn't kill herself until she's already out of jail.
Yeah.
If she kills herself, she's just like, I'm sick of this shit. Like,
well, I mean, even when she was in jail,
capturing,
even when she was in jail and she got beat the fuck up, she was just like, I'm tired. Just let me.
Well, want to go over why she got beat up?
Just let me take the deal, please. Oh shit, what's up, Callens? Finally, motherfucker. You get it.
I was doing. I had some stuff I had to do for work. I'm sorry about that, y'all. You know, I had to be here for you, Jazzy. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
So let's quickly go over why she got beat up, right? So she got beat up by one of the other prisoners in the jail. But the reason why it was revealed is because she got pregnant by Kilgrave, and she wanted to get rid of the fetus in it, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously that goes into the abortion. She had abortion via a pill, which is really interesting dynamic in the series. And it really actually, I remember reading an article about it, how it really actually goes over the whole abortion thing really well and brings a very human light to it. Like, that was actually a really cool thing.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was really good story and plot wise because, especially given what's going on in the country today, that this girl, she's young, but she was just like, this dude raped me. I'm pregnant with this child. I'm already fucked up in the head over.
That's another thing too.
Controlled and shit, and being violated physically and mentally and emotionally. Like, I am not bringing that motherfucker's child into the world.
That's another interesting too, is because Jessica repeatedly brings up the topic of rape and how Kilgrave raped her because she never wanted to have sex with Kilgrave. Kilgrave made her have sex with him via the mind control. And It's like, and you can tell when he tells someone to do something, you can tell in their face, I don't want to do that, but I have to. Because I'm compelled to. So it's really interesting. It's like with the topic of rape, because when that happens to someone, they don't want that to happen. Obviously, they don't want that to happen. So it's like that really brings the emotion and understanding of rape to a very interesting standout.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you bring up, like, you can tell in people's faces, like Kilgrave constantly tells her to smile too.
Yeah.
Like, that just shows that he knows when he's making her do something that she doesn't want to do, even though he'll tell himself he doesn't know. Like when they remember that one event completely differently.
Yeah.
Like, he rationalizes what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they show you that. Like, sometimes, like, Kilgrave will have like multiple versions of things. Like, he'll say, like, when he was talking about what happened with his parents, like, he leaves stuff out, and he tells the version that makes him most sympathetic. And then his parents tell, like, a different version. And when he was, like, first going to buy that house and he wanted to be on the up and up and not use his powers, later, like, you find out that he knew the whole time that his powers don't work on Jessica anymore. So, like, there's a certain amount of manipulation even in that. Like he's trying to appear genuine, but there's still manipulation involved because he knows that. Like he tells her, "Oh, I won't use my powers on you," but he knows he can't. She just doesn't know yet.
Ooh, is that somebody's cat?
That is my girlfriend's cat. She probably wants in here.
Aww. Oh, why are you keeping her out?
I
She's
could let her in. I don't know.
she's not like my cat. My cat's just like, bitch, I'm chilling in the living room because it's dark.
Nice and dark and quiet in here.
Yeah.
Nobody allowed. Like when my cat
Nobody's
takes
fucking.
over my computer chair.
Yeah, no one's fucking with me in here. But yeah, man, and it's weird because actually I like Jessica Jones a bit better than Daredevil. Like I even thought about going back and watching a little bit of Daredevil, but then I was like, no, no thanks. And I like that every episode got progressively better, like than the next one.
Plus, the way I see it is that Daredevil is more of that action drama with a little bit of crime mixed into it, whereas Jessica Jones is more psychological thriller. That's how I view it.
It's much more, it's definitely much more
obviously
psychological.
action and fighting, but it's not the main thing
More
that happens.
noirish.
Yeah.
It has much more of a noir feel since she's Private Eye and stuff and hard drinking, no clear cut heroes and shit. Nothing is just black and white.
Well, Daredevil has that same thing going about it too, because he contrasts like the Catholic morality with the reality that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna clean up.
Daredevil's like more like clean and structured. Like Jessica Jones is more chaotic, and just kind of like anything can happen. But the Daredevil, like the first 6 episodes is one arc. Then like the 7th episode is like it's close to a standalone. Then the next 6 episodes are one arc. And Jessica Jones is not structured that way at all. So
it's just all this whole entire arc leading up to this one big climax.
Yeah.
And I thought it was done really well. I think there was an article on I forget which site, if it was Forbes or Esquire or GQ, and they were sort of complaining about about it mainly being just about her and having Luke Cage to support character status and whatnot. And it's like, the name of the show is Jessica Jones. Like, let her fucking do her thing. Let her live. You know what I mean? Like, she can, like, oh, look, it's a female character who can push, have a series on her shoulders, and she can do it. Like, and you really don't hear that shit about other series like, like Daredevil or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, please, it feels like frat boy complaining anytime, someone makes a complaint like that. It's like, oh, look at this, multifaceted, female character, and she's not all blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and, wide-eyed, and, desaturated, black and white, like, oh, I'm gonna save the world, Sailor Moon style or whatever. Look, she has flaws. She has PTSD. She's a rape survivor. She drinks. She cusses. She doesn't, she's very, standoffish, but you still root for her. And I think a perfect foil for her besides Kilgrave was actually the lawyer.
yeah,
Because it was Hogarth, yeah.
Well, they did, like, they switched the genders of that character. Gender of that character too was a man in the Iron Fist comic books. They switched it to a woman, and it really doesn't, like, you could do that exact same story with a man, like the storyline she had. There's really, like, the gender change. I don't know how they came about choosing that, but like the gender change, like, really didn't change anything about the plot. They just chose to change the gender. So, because I could see that exact same storyline with a man, but like you've seen it like that kind of storyline before with a man like a million times. It's the only reason to really change it. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed like when her like subplot like kind of wrapped up though, and they didn't really like show any of the aftermath of that. Just like her wife's killed, her girlfriend killed her wife, and then you don't really see her again until Jessica's like been arrested at the end. And like I was kind of disappointed they just let that dangle. It's not like the kind of thing that you usually save for next season. It's like something that needs to be like addressed now.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, the way that they sort of left it, like, oh, like, damn, like this, your wife is dead, and your fiance, you basically having your fiance go down for your wife's murder, even though technically it was in self-defense. And the fiance is like just really becomes hit to the game, to Horvath's game, and is like, oh, this is your lawyer? And she's like, nope, I don't know who the fuck this person is, get me out of here. So things really, and it's all because Horvath was just fucking stupid and tried to fucking use Kilgrave like for her own ends, given that she, didn't think that he was able to do what he could do in the first fucking place.
Another interesting thing too with that is that she wants his powers, and that's why after Hope had the abortion, she kept the fetus frozen away so she could, I don't know, get somebody to try to grab that power out of the fetus and give it to her. Like she wanted that power, which obviously brings in the case where Kilgrave finds out about the fetus and then has his father use it to make him stronger.
Yep.
There's a storyline in the Mark Waid run in Daredevil where the Purple Man has children, like from all the women that he's basically violated, and he finds out he has these children, so he like gathers his children together and he wants his children to love him, but they hate him. So that's like the closest they get to like in the comics to like a Jessica Jones version of the Purple Man. Is that storyline, because he wants to have somebody love him without him telling them to love him, basically.
Yeah, but
like a normal person.
He just wants this totally unattainable goal. Like, I want you to genuinely care for me. It's like, motherfucker, you've done nothing but like fuck people over for like how long?
Yeah, he wants that.
The one person you fucked over like the most, you want her to genuinely love you? Like, the fuck?
And the point about it is like he can't do it without coercion. He tries to make it seem like he's doing it without coercion.
Yeah, but he can't even be on the up and up about that. He has to like con somebody out of out of that house, which turns out to be Jessica's old house, and fucking con people into being his servants, and just treat them like shit, like how he had them like they weren't able to close their eyes until Jessica came back, like, oh. Like, baby, like half a baby step forward, like 11 million steps back.
Yeah, like when he says that thing to her, he says like, "I can't be good without you." Like that's the part where, like when you're talking about when she comes back and she drugs him and everything, like you're thinking that she might decide to stay with him because of that, because that's what he wants, and then that's what makes her realize, though, yeah, this is useless because I'm not going to stay with him. So
yeah.
But like he thinks that's going to convince her when he says that to her. Like, oh, I can't be good without you. I thought that was generally the right thing to do, but like throughout the series, it's also implied that like really like he uses that as cover. Like he does understand to a certain extent when he's manipulating someone, and when he's like doing something wrong.
Right.
He's not completely oblivious. Like he doesn't have like the moral sense that maybe a normal person has, but he does have like something to work with.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make me talk, huh?
Yes.
Also, sorry for not saying anything. I am still working on my project. I'm sorry, Jazzy, but I gotta have this done. So
Oh no, don't worry.
didn't want to be rude.
It's all good. Come on, Jay. We're waiting, boo.
Uh, being a big fan of film noir, I really liked. I'd only heard of Jessica Jones before slightly, and I hadn't really dove into it all that much. Um, so when you insisted that I watch it, the first episode was really dry as fuck, or so I thought, until um, the scene with Hope's parents, and I don't know. I'm still processing a lot of the show. I'm genuinely still processing a lot of the show. I really liked a lot of the noir-like qualities. I liked that you had a tragic hero, or not necessarily. Well, yeah, a tragic hero. I liked that there were semblances of betrayal. I liked that it really bookended itself well. It started as it ended with the broken window. Um, I'm still picking it apart. I'm picking a lot of it apart still.
Oh.
I'm sorry I can't contribute all that much.
Mm-hmm. Because I knew it would. I knew you would like it since you're a real big fan of crime noir and stuff like that. So it really fit. It was right up your alley. So.
I appreciate you putting me on, and we will watch Daredevil. I promise.
Okay. See, I get people hooked on stuff like crack. So, so, yeah, so I think that, I think I think that they didn't really leave too much hanging in regards to Horvath's story because we already know, like, her fiance rejected her for counsel and stuff, and she's still going to be suffering repercussions. Her partners are trying to buy her out, and now she's dealing with or ex fiance by the time we go into the season 2 and seeing if there was a trial, if it's just about to go to trial.
We really didn't see any, because she shows up as Jessica's lawyer, and we don't really see any. Jessica just is kind of just whatever at the end there.
Yeah, because she pretty much made her bed and now knows what the deal is, because remember, she was very skeptical about all this, even with the whole taking of Hope's fetus, aborted fetus and stuff like that. She was still really skeptical about the whole thing. So her worldview has totally changed, and after being sucked in, with the divorce getting really ugly and everything, to basically her soon-to-be ex-wife being compelled to cut her 1,000 times, that definitely has a serious impact on you. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's sort of kind of fucked up by the time we go into the second season.
I don't know if they're going to use her in Iron Fist either, because her character was originally an Iron Fist character. So she's basically replacing Matt Murdock in the show from the comics. So
right.
Okay. It's what are they going to do? Is she going to be in Iron Fist, or is she just going to be on Jessica Jones? So
I think it would sort of make sense it wouldn't be too bad of an idea for her to go in between the shows, because you never know, once they establish the Luke Cage show, and then once they establish the Iron Fist show, and then they start really pulling all 4 characters together for the Defenders, then we might see a lot of crossing. We might see a lot of other characters crossing in, like Rosario Dawson's character, the night nurse.
Yeah, I was surprised they left her for the last episode because it kind of made sense from where they were in the plot wise for her to show
Yeah.
up there, but like also it felt like they were stalling things out a little bit. So yeah,
Really, I didn't really think they were stalling that. It really did make sense, especially,
yeah, but she's
af-
like in the episode a lot. Like it's like to have like a special guest star like in the very last episode. Because I know like other shows that have like had their finales and like had the chance to have a special guest star have like refused to have them on that episode because it detracts from like the ending. So it's just yeah,
yeah,
it's distracting to have like a special guest star in your last episode because you're just trying to like wrap up the storylines of the characters that are there. Um, but like as far as like the plot wise, it made sense for her to be there, so it wasn't like it didn't seem like gratuitous to just shove her in there.
yeah, it didn't. And plus, like, I liked how they had her and Malcolm, talk and stuff like that. So it's like you get to see all this crazy shit from the regular person's point of view again.
Yeah, and like they also had an excuse for like why Daredevil wasn't there because she says that she doesn't want someone else to be like mind controlled by Kilgrave, so like she doesn't want him to send anyone to help. And I knew there would be like a Luke Cage mind controlled by Kilgrave fight with Jessica Jones, but I like forgot about it because it doesn't come till almost the very end. I was like, that's gonna be at some point in the show when I first started watching it. Basically around the time where like she says that she can't see him anymore initially, and then he comes to hire her later. But around that time, I was like, yeah, there's gonna be a fight, like where Kilgrave's controlling Luke Cage at some point in the show.
I thought that he was going to kidnap Luke at some point and hold him hostage. But what happened was still equally satisfying. I was like, oh God, gonna have to fight.
Yeah, well, it was just funny that I knew that was gonna happen, and then when we got to it, like it didn't even occur to me that he was still like being mind controlled by Kilgrave like all that time.
Yeah.
So like even though it was something that I thought was really predictable, I forgot about it by the time they actually used it.
Might they
So
potentially do some sort of Defenders? Might they do a Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Man show or something to that effect?
yeah, there's
Eh,
supposed to be a Defenders. It's supposed to be a 6 episode show after everything's set up with the other shows.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, like right now I read an interview with Melissa Rosenberg, and she said they're discussing whether they can do a second season of Jessica Jones before Defenders or after. So I bet you Iron Fist is probably further along than we know. They're just like keeping it under wraps.
yeah. Oh, look who came in. What's up?
Look at look at UD looking all serious.
Yeah, right.
Look at me. Nah, look at me. I got shit to say.
Nah,
Tired of this bullshit.
nah, son, nah.
Like, he looks so angry and serious.
So I want to mention about the Luke Cage series. Reading from the premise on the wiki page, I can't really tell if it's going to take place before Jessica Jones or after or somewhere in the middle or in between. Because it looks like it's an origin story, but it's like Claire Temple, the night nurse, is going to be featured in it. So it's kind of not sure if it takes place after or before or sometime in between.
I think it's probably gonna take place after, and then there's just gonna be like a lot of flashback to
Right,
the
yeah.
before, because it's probably gonna be like people he has history with, because like Cottonmouth is like one of his villains. I think that's the one he has history with, so it'll be like about kind of like the history they had before. Will be like part of it, like much like Jessica Jones has a lot of flashbacks. We could probably
Just checking if my microphone works.
Yeah.
Yep, we hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you perfectly. We can. Now the angry man speaks. Now I'm just like, you look really angry in that picture. I don't know why.
I was
Really
thinking
serious.
about you, Kalans.
I know. You were. I am an angry ass person, aren't I? Look at Jazzy over there trying to salvage this. You can't salvage this, Jazzy.
No, but seriously, I just got here, and what I loved, like, I assume everyone here has seen the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like the Patsy character.
Patsy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hellcat!
Yeah, Hellcat. Yeah.
Oh, she was cool. I definitely like enjoyed her character, and then it took a while for it to sink in. Like, oh, Hellcat, because I have this small ass flyer with her solo comic book series, which is coming out soon, and I'm just like, oh, Patsy Walker, Patsy. Oh
Yeah,
shit! Like, oh shit, it's Patsy.
yeah, Jazzy. I like the way people were freaking out that she actually had sex. We're like, is this the
Wait, they
Patsy
what? They
character?
were like, yeah, like it took a while for it to make sense since I have this. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
I like that she banged like that. I liked her a lot. But people,
like,
but people,
I like
but
the
people
way
are
you
like
describe
freaked
it. I like
out.
that she boned.
No. I'm not saying it as like a sexist or anything. I'm just
No,
saying.
I was just saying it was just funny the way you
That's the way
described
she
it.
banged.
Oh, you said bang. Wow. I thought you
Bang.
said bone.
She
The
banged.
fuck?
No. Look, I simply said it was like a different female sort of thing that was done that isn't normally done.
Oh no, it's not that you do. It's just like Sam and I had to revert to our like 12-year-old states where we're just like, oh my god, she said bang. It's funny.
Oh, okay.
uh,
Beavis and Butthead, also.
Pretty much. Hey, I'm prettier than Butthead.
Okay.
Fire.
but yeah,
Anyways.
it really seems like people have a problem with adult themes, with adults doing adult things, because they think comic books and series based on like graphic novels, like, oh, it's for kids and da. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
No.
this was a max series for mature audiences only. Like,
Yeah.
Jessica says shit. I mean, and you guys are even lucky that she just says shit. Like, even though it was pretty damn mature, like,
Yeah.
she hardly said. I don't even remember anyone saying fuck in the series.
I think
I don't
once or
think
twice.
she can say fuck.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think they have a policy for Netflix that they don't say fuck. Like I think because like on Daredevil there was a point where like the cop like goes, "Don't you freaking move," and like they've said every other word on that show. It's just like it stands out.
Like,
So,
I think that's definitely a Marvel thing, and it's like, why? In the Alias graphic novels, like, Jessica says fucking like 11 times. Like,
it's like the
Yeah.
first word. It's the first word in the first issue.
You guys have probably already touched on this because it just got here, but I like the scene where, like, I think it's like the first episode where that girl kills everyone else, and then she says "smile." I think that has.
When Hope kills her
Beginning of
parents?
episode 1, like, I had to. We touched on it a little bit, but yeah, I had to, like,
Yeah, I was little.
I had to stop the series. I watched it till the end, and I could not go back and watch for like a good 45 minutes to an hour. Like, I had to stop and just process what the fuck I saw and prepare myself. I'm like, is the series just gonna be like this?
That's another thing too. That was kind of odd with Hope during that scene because you see the elevator doors close. She takes off the gun, and like I think she looks at Jessica, and Jessica's like, "Oh shit, what?" And then she runs down to the bottom of the stairs to the lobby where the elevator opens up. Her dead dad, Hope's dad, falls to the ground. Her mom's slumped in the elevator, blood everywhere, and she just looks there and smiles. It's just very odd, especially after a couple episodes, you start to know Hope. It was very, I don't like thinking back to it. It was kind of odd, like why she smiled. It's like she wanted to do it, like whereas, like I don't know, the dynamic afterwards makes it looking back a little odd.
Well, Kilgrave like apparently scripts stuff for people to say because the Luke Cage thing establishes that later.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like he
had the whole-
it's not just like control for like the moment. It's like he is just good at giving people
Well,
like
like this concentrated
Hypnotic
string,
suggestions.
like
Oh,
this calculated string of manipulations that go on down the road.
Yeah.
Basically.
no, it was more of a social comment because women are always told to smile.
Oh God, yeah.
So with like the beginning of the series begins with smile, and the ending of the series ends with smile. So it's a social commentary that I don't think that can be ignored within the series.
Yeah, it's like he always tells like people to smile. Like he knows
Right.
that like he's making people do what they don't want to do, and then forcing them to smile through it. And it's like it's very like
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
it's very deliberate and it's very unnerving. Like, ugh.
A lot of things that were like more subtextual in the comic are really like drawn out more in the show. Like in the comic, like Purple Man never has sex with Jessica. He like tortures her in other ways, and he doesn't like have like any like real connection to her. He just like enjoys torturing people in general. So he's not like infatuated with her like he is in the series. So that changes a lot of it. Makes it like more analogous to like real kind of relationships people have had, like abusive relationships, and more analogous to rape and things like that. The rape survivor analogy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how awesome Luke Cage was. Like I felt like a proud black man.
Oh
Really.
yeah, like Luke did us proud, even though, like I said, his fighting was a bit lazy. I mean, yes, super strength, yes, unbreakable skin, but goddamn, like
Make the fights a little more exciting.
like please, like don't be like Tuxedo Mask lazy about it.
No, I here's the reason why I think that. Like,
I like Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay. Okay.
Say that again, Max. You cut in and out.
Oh, I had to talk to my mom. I was like, I'm watching my nephew right now.
Oh.
But yeah, I have no idea where I left off at.
Luke
Cage
made you a proud black man. And
made you a proud black man.
I'll pick up later.
Power
Continuing.
man. Power man indeed.
yeah.
Oh, there was like a leaked titles of the series like earlier than like way earlier in the series, and like the episode where they fight was actually the leaked title was Jewel versus Power Man. And then when like the real titles came out later, that wasn't the title of it anymore. But when the episode came, I couldn't help but notice, like, yeah, if that had been an earlier title for it, or like what they called it at one point, like that's a complete spoiler for what happens in the episode. But like that like leak later, like that must have been a genuine leak of like an earlier titles for the show, because that's what happens in the show.
Well, obviously, like the Doctor Strange movie is gonna feed into the show slightly.
Oh, with the introduction of Iron Fist.
Yeah,
The
because
more
Iron Fist.
mystical elements.
Yeah, because Iron Fist is a mystical character, and I'm thinking that they should just go ahead and make the character Asian.
Yeah, I don't think they haven't even cast a Wong in.
Honestly, I thought he was Asian until Matt was like, oh, he's a white dude.
He's a white guy.
Oh.
He's a white guy.
Yeah, until he was. Yeah, until Matt told me, because like I'm more into like the anime shit, so I didn't even know he was like white. I thought he was an Asian dude.
No, he was a surgeon. No, straight up white dude, surgeon, and got into an accident.
But would that make people mad? I mean, here's the thing: is like if they change the race of Iron Fist.
Of Iron Fist and made him Asian, maybe not as mad. But some assholes will find any reason to get mad because frat boy is
Yeah.
I thought there would be people who would accuse it of being like racial stereotypes or something. Like, oh, of course the Asian guy likes kung fu.
or that could happen.
No, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Netflix has been ridiculously good. I mean, I have seen Jessica Jones from from like the first episode to the end episode, and I wasn't irritated with any of the characters. I mean, I was mad at them, but I wasn't like I hate them. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah. Yeah, like characters that are supposed to irritate you, like Robin, fucking irritated the shit out of you, and that was that.
oh, Patsy irritated the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, she's like fucking that fucking Nuke. She's like fucking Nuke, and Nuke's like a fucking
Another person
psychopath.
knew about Nuke and I didn't. God damn it, I feel bad.
Oh, my bad. Let me contextualize this. Like,
Oh no.
Simpson-
I mean, I didn't know that he was an actual like character in the books that existed. I thought he was just sort of like made for the show.
No, definitely not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Simpson is supposed to be this guy named Nuke. He's in the Punisher comic book. He has a tattoo on his face that bleeds America. He's like this psychopathic killer guy.
Yeah, he also has history like with Wolverine because I think like the Weapon X project was like part of his origin.
Really?
He's in like the Wolverine Origins comics. He's also like from like his place of birth is my hometown. So he's like one of the few comic book characters that was born in my hometown.
Oh.
Which
So
I learned from the Wolverine.
Oh boy, so that means Chris must bleed American too.
Yeah.
And a great accomplishment and a
Yeah.
revelation has been had here today.
Yeah. Bruce Banner
God
also
bless.
was born in my hometown. The Hawk was born in my hometown as well. So.
Okay, so I have a quick
Chris
question.
bleeds red, white, and blue. Holy shit.
I have a quick question. If you guys had the power of the Purple Man, Kilgrave, basically.
Jazzy would punch me if I said anything, so I'm going
No,
to stay out of this
do you
conversation.
think you could keep your moral high line? Yes or no?
I think it would be very difficult because lately, like I realized that my level of chill has gone down. So sometimes it's like having to really take care when I tell someone go fuck yourself. I
Literally go fuck themselves.
that'd be really hard, like it'd be hard to oh my god, I gotta keep it in check. So when I say, go fuck yourself, that they don't actually like literally try to fuck themselves.
That's not unnecessarily bad. I mean,
Unless I was face to face with George Zimmerman, then I'd tell him to go fuck himself.
Come on, it's bad for me because she tells me to check myself all the time. So that means my ass would be rather sore.
I know, right? Like, goddamn, Jesse.
Or just like with all the eat a dicks I tell people, like
Holy shit!
There'd be a lot of mad motherfuckers at me. God damn it, Jasmine.
God, it's like a tsunami in here. What the fuck?
No, but this is a serious question. Like, because the Purple Man's power is like, it's assumed that he can't control it, and that's why it bleeds into him.
We talked about that earlier, though, like how the show kind of suggests that he rationalizes it, that he really knows when he's controlling someone and not, and he just says he doesn't. So, I think like you might like at some point just start rationalizing it, even if you tried to control it. Like you make someone do something, and you go, "Oh, this is for their own good," and then you would just slowly. Different people would go to different extremes, but slowly you'd start rationalizing it. I wonder the same thing about like telepaths, like in comic books too. Like because like Cyclops and Jean Grey, I was like, and then later Emma Frost, it's like they can read his mind at any time.
Oh my goodness, Bess is in the call. Hi, boo. Hi. How you doing? Everybody say hi to Bess. That's my other triad partner. It's my girlfriend. Hi.
Oh.
Who's Bess?
Bess is my girlfriend.
Okay. Hi, Bess.
Other triad partner.
Bess is my other triad partner.
She seems to be driving around somewhere.
Yeah, she's on her way. You on your way home from work?
I'm on the way home. I finally got away from dinner.
Oh yeah, with the parents, yeah.
I thought it was that girl that was with Sequester Zone.
Oh, and also, yeah, she snuck in and, or tried to. She was like, I'm not gonna be subtle about this at all.
I'm just gonna lay down because this is my bed.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Alright, so I want to hear everyone's opinion. Like, what would you do if you had Kilgrave's power? Would you take the high ground? Or not? Or would you...
I don't know. I'd start rationalizing a couple of things. Like, hey, officer. Just, like, take me. I definitely would want to take a road trip to maybe right some wrongs. I don't know. Remember, I'm sort of a chaotic, neutral type of person, so it's like...
I'd become the Punisher.
really, quack duck here.
What I would do?
Yeah, what would you do, bruh?
Jazzy? No, like, I want to say something, but if I do, probably get hit in the face. I can just imagine, like, Jazzy's hand just appears out of nowhere, just
Say
knocks the shit out of her.
Man,
I like being people's collective consciences. Like, I want to say something, and then just, I just pop, mini me just pops out of nowhere on the shoulder and just goes.
Pretty much.
Man, fucker, what are you talking about?
Don't do that. But yeah, I also wonder about that with telepaths as well. It's like, would you really influence things to go in your favor? Because a couple of characters have done that. Like Emma Frost used to do that, like constantly.
With telepaths is a choice, but with Kilgrave it's a lifestyle. So there's like a little bit of a difference there, slightly.
Yeah, he doesn't have control over his powers, like, or at least when he says, like, he has to watch what he says, because what he says to somebody, you'd have to like never tell somebody to do anything, basically.
Yeah, so you could almost feel some sympathy for Kilgrave, because he is like, if he wants something, he has to sort of network it.
Yeah, it would be really difficult to like have his powers and be ethical about it.
Like, I mean, it's like, imagine waking up and thinking everyone has to listen to you. It sounds okay at first, until you try to, drift that into the practicality of living a life.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, like, have you ever read the Daredevil comic where the Purple Man has kids?
Yes.
He goes to find his kids. Like, that's exactly like the storyline that they're really going for that, because like he wants his kids to love him, but he doesn't want to have to tell them. Like, I think he's actually screaming at them, like, "Love me," and that's not an order, or like something like that, like something weird.
But in the comics, Kilgrave does have a legitimate wife and kids, right?
Not a legitimate wife, but he has like kids everywhere.
And it's very rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are products of rape, yeah.
Like in Daredevil Yellow, they have where he takes Karen Page to a motel room. Like, that's what he does. When he breaks out of jail, he just takes her to a motel room, and then Daredevil shows up, and then he tells her to walk off the balcony to escape, because Daredevil has to save her. But like, that's just the first thing he does is like, I'm just gonna take a woman to a motel room. Stop. First thing he does when he gets out of jail.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen when this versus like if the Punisher finds out where these people are, I think all those kids are going to go die.
Yeah, they might actually bring that into the show, because they introduce it really with the whole Cherry Horgoth like trying to save the fetus and stuff like that, because she like immediately thinks that the power might be from it, and that's how he enhances his power in the end. So like the idea that he has a bunch of like kids out there that have his powers.
Yeah,
That could be.
Well, there is one of his daughters has his power is Purple Woman Persuasion.
Oh yeah,
Carla.
I forgot about that character. That's like a really obscure.
Yeah, that's Carla, 1979.
Oh.
I don't think they're gonna bring in Carla. I think that they're gonna keep it more, at least within the 90s and the 2000s.
I'm sure they could find some way to like bring her in.
Yeah,
Oh,
they could.
do
They
you
could
like
have the
Carla?
character.
Is she like some super cool character that I don't know about?
Oh, I don't know. That's the thing. I never knew about it, but I mean, with like old or obscure characters, they will find some way to
No, it's
bring
true
them.
that. True that.
Yeah, if they're bringing in Nuke, then like some of the characters they've had on Agents of Shield too, like because they just can't use the big characters. They've been using some really obscure stuff on that show.
Did they bring in Mockingbird on Agents of Shield?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's like an agent, but she's not like a. I mean, she's cool. She does her thing.
Okay.
She's
not
there,
like a
but she's
full
not.
superhero, but what?
Was that the cat?
Yes. Can't say it again.
Oh.
You want to be on camera? Be on camera? Here. Off of the camera. Don't get on the computer. Don't lay on the computer. It's not even comfortable.
Not comfortable for you because you're a human, but I'm a cat.
Right before this, she was laying on my hip because I was like laying on the couch, and she just like laid right on my hip. I don't see how that's comfortable for her. It's not comfortable for me. But
Cats just lay in like the craziest ways, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
are you comfortable? And they just fall asleep at that lamp. Okay, there's no. Listen, I think I'm just about done trying to find rhyme and reason when it comes to cats. Like I'm done.
She's gonna do it again.
yeah, she's gonna lay on my hip again apparently.
Like my cat was trying to fit into like the smallest purse, and she's kind of big. She was trying to fit in like the smallest compartment the other day, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to get in that? You can't fit.
I had a cat that he used to like to get on the entertainment center, so I moved the thing that he would jump on, which was like this chest that he would jump on to get on the entertainment center. So I moved it way over so he couldn't do it anymore. And he just sat on it and cried forever. And then finally, after I wasn't going to move it, he jumped. Like, just jumped and like went straight into the went into like the glass like CD holder part of the entertainment center. Straight face first, straight in there, bounced off it, hit the ground, looked a little embarrassed and walked away. There's like this little smudge from when his nose hit it. But he never gave up trying to get back up there.
Good times.
On my hip again.
So what did you guys think of Patsy?
I liked Patsy. I enjoyed her character very much. I liked that she wasn't just some regular radio talk show host or whatever. Like she wanted to enable herself to be able to defend herself and all that. I especially liked her fight against Nuke because he had it coming.
Yeah.
And Jessica was too damn tired. So she was just like, I'm just going to take this red pill and I'm going to fuck you up. The end.
And her as a character, she's better than Miss Marvel as a character because she has that backstory that they did with her mother that plays into the main themes of the show.
Yeah.
She had Miss Marvel.
I don't know if she was better than Miss Marvel. I just think it was easier to do.
Yeah, well, it was also it just like it fits with what they were doing in terms of like the themes. They were doing. Better than
because remember Miss Marvel's son comes from an alternate reality that raped her.
Yeah, that's one of the more disturbing Avengers storyline.
Yeah, so it's kind of that's kind of hard to translate.
Yeah, I don't even think Marvel would try with that one. I don't think they'd mess with that.
I
They
would.
in the comics, they still like to pretend that didn't happen.
Shit.
Oh, Darkwing Duck, are we being too dorky for you?
Huh?
Are we being too dorky for you? 'Cause
No.
we're talking about fine lines here.
Well, I mean, this is a nerd hangout. It doesn't, no matter how foxy it is, you know.
Okay, I'll stop being elitist.
So,
Darkwing.
no elitism allowed.
Sammy,
Okay, Darkwing, my
Sammy,
elitism is no longer here.
Sammy is too good for us. That's
What?
I've been picking on Sammy.
yeah, that's Sammy.
Oh, Sammy, I'm sorry, dude.
I like how you had to know it was Sammy before you were like,
Before
hey,
you were like, oh, whoa,
maybe I should step off right now.
it's Sammy, man.
You know, I'm gonna be a dick and say it's all. You can step and correct to Sammy. He's okay. He's
I'm so sorry, Sammy.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
I love you, Sammy. It's just like
I don't know what's going on, so I'm kind of just like phasing out. It's like this means nothing to me.
Like it's okay, boo. At first they were like, oh my god, like at first Max tried to establish some sort of like elitism up in this bitch, but no, we're not having that.
Like, why you being a dick, dude? What the fuck? What did I say?
You know, like essentially, like do you think Iron Fist is gonna have a punch, or do you think it's more along the lines of
You better have a punch. It's the fist. The fist, like this fist was powerful enough to kill a dragon and take out its heart.
Yeah, I wonder.
He is called Iron Fist for a reason, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna fist people.
No, but remember.
That'd be like, you know, having One Punch Man and having him not have, you know,
He
that
kicks.
punch. Like, it's just incomplete. It makes no sense.
Did you say One Punch Man, Jazzy?
Yes, I did say One Punch Man because on Halloween I finally got to watch some episodes of that, and it's fucking amazing.
It is. I think I sent you one. I'm not sure though, but it's pretty good.
Just,
No, but like the other shows are gonna definitely need like fighting, because like Jessica Jones, Jessica could just punch stuff, and so can Luke Cage.
Right?
yeah, she could punch stuff and lip stuff. I mean, like, fucking, you saw how Luke just stopped that lady from talking. She was talking all that hot shit, like, yeah, I'm not giving y'all nothing. Y'all give me some money. And Luke just put hands on the shoulders and just lifted her big ass up and moved her over to from one side to the other side, and she shut right up. Like,
So, like, I would say, I think one of the main issues with the fights when it comes to that is that she doesn't really have a lot of, like, villains, right, outside of Purple Man. Well, you know, like, super villains that can match her physically, I don't think. At least that's what Matt told me.
Yeah, like in her run in the comic book was like what 30 issues.
yeah, it wasn't.
It's mostly just, like, thugs and just normal dudes who are like, hey, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, she mostly, you know, it focused more on her solving cases and, you know, stopping conspiracies from happening. Like, I think in one arc people were trying to like shame Captain America or wrap him up in a scandal or something like that, and she had to solve something.
Like the one show you told me about, the I think it was the lady who has like an animal spirit totem,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
South
Vixen.
African.
Yeah,
Vixen, yeah, she doesn't have any villains, right? She mostly just has like thugs, just like random gangsters and shit, I think.
yeah, it was just her main enemies was just the guy that killed her parents. And
Was
she,
Jessica Jones featured in a Civil War series, or can't remember?
she was, yes.
It's kind of like just
Because
background.
because in the comics she and Luke Cage are together. And I think it was before or after they got married. But it was after, I think it was after they got married because she had the kid. He had Luke's daughter.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was during the New Avengers run where Iron Man and Miss Marvel and Carol Danvers, they went to Luke and Jessica and they were like, hey, you guys, at midnight they're gonna pass this superhero registration law. Are you gonna sign with it? And Luke was like, fuck no, kiss my ass. I guess we'll just see
Civil War. Yeah.
at midnight. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm so ready for that movie.
So what team are you on? I'm on Iron Man's. I'm on Iron Man's team.
I'm on Cap's team. Shit, fuck Iron Man. Everybody wants to just, glaze over the fact that he fucking created Ultron.
Ooh, this brings up the conversation of does Cap die in the movie now? Is he gonna die?
No, I think this is a pretty good thing.
This is the thing because he doesn't die in Civil War, but he dies after. He dies like a couple issues after, but he doesn't die. Right? He doesn't die directly after Civil War. So
I think that those superhuman people need to be put on the list.
What? he thinks that they need to have a list of like superheroes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, like one of the things with Civil War, like it makes sense that if you're like a superhero, that you have to receive training, that you have to have some government oversight. But like with the Civil War comic books, they could also be forcibly drafted if they had powers, which is one of the things they didn't really emphasize a lot because they like made the Iron Man.
They wanted to do that to mutants, the X-Men, and Emma was like, "Listen, we are not going to get involved. We don't want nothing to do with it. There's only about 198 of us left, and like you motherfuckers weren't there when we were fucking white. Where a lot of us were killed in Genosha.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you guys when we were getting fucked up? And then plus it was post House of M, so there's only like close to 200.
But she made that
anyway. So.
But she made that speech during the whole Genoshan thing, which was a precursor to the Age of Apocalypse. Remember the Age of Apocalypse?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's where Emma made that speech, and that's where that speech felt dry.
Age of Apocalypse. I'd have to.
No, Age of Apocalypse was an alternate reality where Xavier was killed.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the first Age of Apocalypse. Like I read it.
Okay.
It actually breaks the Marvel rules of time travel too.
Yeah.
But that's not important.
Yeah, like
that's one of the things that bugs me about the Flash shows. They can't decide what the rules of time travel are. They've had like 3 different sets of rules on the Flash in just one season for how time travel works. They even go through and go like Cisco's like, there's like Terminator time travel and then there's like Back to the Future time travel and it's like,
okay.
You guys can't even decide which one.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. Can you guys tell me right now the rules of time travel that I'm supposed to follow?
Well, the Marvel rules,
comic wise.
The Marvel rules are supposed to be that if you go back in time, you can't change anything. If you go back in time, you just cause another reality to split off. If you change something. So, like, those are the Marvel rules. That was established back in the Fantastic Four when Dr. Doom had a time machine, because otherwise Dr. Doom would have just defeated them like a long time ago. So, they established that, like, just make it make sense that Dr. Doom just can't destroy them. And the Thing went back at one point to try to, like, turn himself back normal, because Reed Richards had a serum that could turn him normal, but not the way he was mutated now, but like how he was before. So he says, I'm going to go back and change myself, and then he comes back and Reed's like, you can't change the past. That's not how time travel works. But then Age of Apocalypse, Legion goes back and he's trying to kill Magneto, and he's
trying to kill Magneto, but he ends up killing his own dad instead. So it's like, oh my god, I was never born, and Xavier never created the X-Men, and my god.
Yeah, and Apocalypse is about. And remember, Apocalypse kills every telepath. I guess not kill, but he rips out their brains.
Except for Jean Grey. Since
Yeah,
she
Jean
was
Grey's she's still like partners with Wolverine in that reality.
yeah.
So he hasn't caught her, basically.
And Nate Grey.
Yeah. So there's like a few, but he like tries to kill them all.
Yeah.
They're like the biggest threat to his power.
So
Yeah, it's gotten way off topic and it's super
Oh,
nerdy.
I'm gonna ship now.
so
You're going to what
anybody-
now?
No, because we just went on like the ultimate tangent from
Yeah,
from Jessica Jones.
we went ultra dork.
We're talking like
Seriously.
we're talking about late '90s comics now too. Like we're not even talking about like current. We went back to like late '90s comics.
Yeah, fucking
That's
stuff I was in high school. And speaking of like stuff from like the comics from the late '90s, I mean, since we're gonna get on that, like this week they Image put out the very last issue of Witchblade. So now I gotta get caught up on where I left off of Witchblade, and then read all the way to the end. Because I got the very last issue, because why would I not get the very last issue? But
I haven't read Witchblade in so long.
My favorite Image character is Zealot.
from Wildcats.
Oh god, that was so terrible.
Of course.
Well, I mean, the cartoon was horrible, even though, like, yes, I did watch it and love it. Oh my god, Chris went back to the monkey, the purple monkey.
I mean Zealot. The Carabim super bitch that's been alive for millenniums.
Dayhawk. I mean, sorry, the Damonites.
Oh, Damonites, huh?
Yeah, because I like because they recently did like they brought back Voodoo, but it was like a limited series.
Yeah, Voodoo's a half-breed though, isn't she? From
I thought her name was Taboo or something.
Yeah, she's like a no, her name's not Taboo.
I thought it was Taboo. Like
No.
Taboo?
Voodoo.
Damn it! Come on, I'm trying to pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about.
She is a hybrid.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Voodoo is a human Daemonite hybrid.
Yeah, from the second generation.
Yeah, and that's in the updated series. What they did is that the Daemonites actually kidnapped her, and then they did experiments on her, which made her a hybrid, and then they cloned her, and they made like a pure human Daemonite hybrid, which was more Daemonite in mind than human and stuff. But yeah, the art was pretty good, and the story was okay.
Hellspot was my nigga. I do not care, man. I loved Hellspot, man.
You don't have any respect for the motherfucking Hellspot?
I love Hellspot, man.
Motherfucker.
Really? How can you not like Hellspot, Jazzy? Really?
I don't know. Just he's, bad guys. I like Voodoo.
He had a flaming head. Literally, his head was on fire.
Yeah, well, him and his flaming head can go eat a dick. I don't care.
Really? It's like that?
Yeah, it's like, I'm afraid so.
Oh, here it is. Let's give a think about Jessica Jones here.
All right.
We'll begin with you, Collins. Let's say what did you take away from the show?
I feel like there's really nothing I can say that hasn't already been said. Like, other than I don't know. Like, it's a really great show. It's a strong. I like the way Luke, as been mentioned before, I like the way Luke Cage was presented, because in a lot of Western media that I consume and shit, I feel like as a black man, the characters fall into several types. They're either they don't really say anything and they're just kind of the strong black dependable buddy that's off in the background somewhere, or they're like the minor villain who's like the typical like gangster type or whatever, or they're just dead. And then you're, or like, it's just it, or they're just dead.
Yeah.
Or they're just dead, and they only come back in like flashbacks and shit. And
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
And then you had Jessica Jones, who has already been mentioned, was already a great character in and of herself. I guess I focus on Luke Cage because as a black man, I can, somewhat, I can somewhat relate to him, or at the very least, I can, see another black man in a strong role that's not like, I'm just a goon.
Yeah, it's true that. Let's see how Sequester Zone's awake.
Yeah, he's awake.
I'm awake.
Oh, damn it! I wanted to punch my heels down. Apparently, that's not going to be possible. So, Sequester Zone, tell us what you thought about Jessica Jones.
I think next time I'm going to have you as moderator for this shit, Max.
Oh, no! Yeah, I'll moderate it, but, it's all good.
You want to know what I thought of it?
You can ask all the questions.
You want to know what I thought of it overall? Because that could take an hour.
Take 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Actually, I thought like the last, I think I'm one of the few people who I like Daredevil just a slightly more than Jessica Jones. Because I thought like Daredevil was working with less ambitious material though, like thematically. Jessica Jones is working with things that are more complex. So I kind of felt like at the end after Kilgrave gets out of the little room they seal him in, it kind of feels like they're stalling till they get to the end, except for the next to last episode where Jessica and Luke Cage fight. That's a really great episode. But it kind of felt like they're stalling at the end there, to me. So it's one of the reasons I just it structurally I like Daredevil better. That said, Jessica Jones has a lot more going on in it than Daredevil does, as people said before. And every relationship in the show has some degree of manipulation or sometimes outright abuse involved in it. So that you're asked to contrast that to what Kilgrave is. So it's actually something that's challenging you when you're watching it to look at yourself, which is what great art should do. And look at the way you behave toward people. So I don't think there's really been any show I can think of that has addressed those things as bluntly as Jessica Jones did.
Well, I think it's mainly because Daredevil is a part of the Defenders, and I don't know who the other Defenders are. But
well,
apparently,
the thing is, they're really deviating from the Defenders. It's really they're doing kind of Heroes for Hire and then calling it.
They're doing more Heroes for Hire.
But Luke Cage and Daredevil and Iron Fist are all members of the Defenders at some point. But so is Hellcat, Nighthawk. But so was the Silver Surfer and the Hulk and Doctor Strange.
Silver Surfer. Come on.
The Defenders were kind of just the Defenders were kind of just the people who weren't cool enough to be in the Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty low rent group, and
let's keep it
and even in when Mark Millar was doing the Ultimates, when he was doing the Ultimate line, when he did the Ultimate version of I was about to say the Offenders of the Defenders, they were as low rent could get.
Yeah, they were
that's the only team that fucking Ultimate Hank Pym could get on because, his reputation is ruined.
Yeah, the Ultimates was great, an amazing series.
Yeah, Matt was bashing Ultimates earlier, so
yeah.
I think he's the only one who has it.
Fuck Matt. Who's Matt?
Napalm.
Oh, I don't mean fuck Matt. I mean I have a disagreement with the fella.
There you go again. saying some slick shit, and then you find out who the person really is, and you're like, oh no, I never mean that. I never say fuck that guy. Yeah.
Where's Sammy?
Oh, Sammy had to dip out.
Uh,
Yeah, he says it in our chat. He said that he had to head off.
This is gonna seem a little off course, but have you guys been watching the DC shows?
We have. You know what? You know what? I feel like if we're gonna sort of deviate and talk more about like other shows, since it's like it's like 9:51, so we can actually like let people who are watching, we could let them go, and then we could talk. We could just start going on all the tangents off air if we want. What do you think? Well, it's not just up to me. I'm asking.
I don't think you need to do that off air though, because
okay.
If anyone's watched to this point, they're probably interested in like what other tangents.
Well, we got about 5 people watching, so yeah, I'd say they're pretty. They're
I mean, I just threw an idea out there. This is, this is not a this is not an authoritarian, setup here. Like, so I was just looking to see what everybody else wanted to do. Y'all want to tangents? Fuck it, tangents galore. Let's do it.
It's fun. I've seen it. Like you're hella ripped.
Huh?
And I work out as well.
Oh, well, it's nice of you to say that I'm ripped, even though I haven't worked out in like about 6 months. But thank you.
Okay.
I tried.
You still got traces. You can see that shit, especially if you work out yourself.
I'm not crazy. You work out a lot.
Yeah. Well,
and you used to work out a lot, from what I remember.
I used to, yeah, because I used to go into it a bit more hard body, but I stopped. So, but
okay.
And as far as like the other like DC shows, like I definitely watch The Flash. I haven't watched Arrow yet. Arrow really hasn't pulled me in. I'm still trying to see if because I know the first 2 to 3 seasons are on Netflix, so I can always go check them out. But I don't know, it hasn't really been pulling me in. But I'm definitely watching the crossover because there's going to be a crossover with the Flash and Arrow and
Vandal Savage.
Yeah, Vandal Savage to kickstart Legends of Tomorrow. So I'm definitely watching that.
Yeah, I haven't watched Arrow either. The only reason I'm interested is because I watched The Flash. So.
Yeah, Zoom. I don't think they capture Zoom quite well, but it's A-okay.
Zoom is fucking scary. Zoom from like Earth 2 is fucking scary, man.
Oh, enlighten me.
Like he took the Flash to town, just beat his ass, and then on top of that, like it's Tony Todd's voice. I know you've seen Candyman, like. It's pretty damn scary. Like, it's not like fucking Earth 1, Aobot, Thorn / Professor Wells. Like, Zoom is the shit. Earth 2 Zoom, I mean. Like.
Yeah, like, it's not kind of a whole new character, too. Like, so, like, comparing it to comic book versions of Zoom, like, it's kind of a new character. It's not really, they just call him Zoom, basically.
Yeah, Earth 2 Dr. Wells just calls him Zoom.
No, like you have reverse Zoom and Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm a comic book aficionado. Like I'm a comic book guy, but I have never dealt with the DC stuff before. Like is Zoom the reverse Flash or Zoom just?
There's a reverse Flash who's sometimes called Professor Zoom.
Professor Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, the reverse Flash is sometimes called Professor Zoom.
Yeah.
And that's Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, Eobard Thawne.
There's another Zoom named Hunter Zolomon who was a Wally West villain who is very different. So when they announced it would be Zoom, a lot of people assumed it would be like Hunter Zolomon Zoom, but this is like something different. So, and like, there's a lot of theories about who it's going to be, and like one of the theories that's online is like that it's Earth 2 Henry Allen, which I think like that may be where they're going because this season has had like these father-son themes. Like even when they did the Grodd episode recently, they did like the whole like Harrison Wells like going to Grodd and like I'm your father, listen to father. Like they keep doing these father-son things over and over again. There's only been like 7 episodes. I was like, so I think that's probably where they're going with it. It's going to be like Earth 2 Henry Allen. I would be surprised if they had something else in mind.
Yeah. And plus, you know, that would be the total mind fuck for Earth 1 Barry. Like, oh my god, I have to fight the Earth 2 version of my dad.
Hey, Jess, what did you think about the first fight between Barry from our reality against Zoom from the other reality?
Zoom basically whooped that ass.
I think
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Like he put his whole foot in Barry's ass. Like, you know, and Barry was like, I'm the only one that could feed him. I'm the only one that could defeat him. I'm the only one that could defeat him. And fucking Earth 2 Zoom took Barry to town and to a carnival and back.
Yeah, it was like
He asked, took him to the police station. Was like, oh yeah, and took him to the newspaper. He was like, oh, this guy is your hero. Look how I fucked him up.
Yeah.
Bye. You know, like.
I don't know if they're just going to do Zoom the whole season, though, because it's kind of like... I'm not sure where they're going beyond revealing who Zoom is, because I think that's going to be a big reveal, even if it's not who I think it is. But I don't know if they're going to do that the whole season. Like, if they have something else in mind, something bigger.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's going to be, like, a version of his father from Earth 2.
I think it's going to be Earth 2 Henry. Yeah.
A lot of people think it might be Eddie, like an Earth 2 version of Eddie, but like I think that kind of like doesn't have the same power. So.
I think it's gonna be maybe himself.
That's possible, but like the Zoom is kind of like a lot bigger than him. They've also like said like, what if this is like a crazy version of that? What if it's the Flash from the '90s Flash, and he turned bad? And it'd be played by the same actor who played his father. Like that's a really crazy one.
Yeah.
It looks like his father, but it's another version of him from the other Flash show. And they've already like kind of opened the door with that, with like having Mark Hamill play the Trickster again. So like.
And I'm not saying that it should be him just because. I'm just saying it should be him because it would make sense. It would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. Like a lot of this, like it couldn't be like the same actor playing him though, because he's like obviously bigger than Barry in this. Like he could be an older version of Barry, or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, the reverse. Now, what do you guys think about the Legends of Tomorrow?
I think it has potential. From what I've seen from certain Flash episodes. I'm glad that Brandon Routh has found a DC role that is good for him, because obviously being Superman wasn't it.
Oh, I hated that he wasn't given a good... Because I thought he was the perfect Superman.
Listen, I confess, back when it first came out, I thought so too. Now it's like, not really.
Superman Returns is kind of just like Bryan Singer trying to redo the Donner movies, and like seems like he directed Brandon Routh to like act just like Christopher Reeve, and I think he does like a really good Christopher Reeve impression. But like that's just like kind of what his performance is. It's just him doing Christopher Reeve. Like he talks just like Christopher Reeve. Like he has like the way. Because Christopher Reeve's performance is actually really great because he plays Clark Kent and Superman so completely like two different characters that it's totally believable, even though it's stupid that people don't know they're the same person. Because the way he's acting. And like Brandon Routh didn't really do that as well. He kind of like his Clark Kent wasn't quite as
it wasn't quite as distinguishable.
But as Superman, he was like really good in terms of like imitating the Christopher Reeve Superman.
At times wasn't really great though. So I think with another director and like a better script that Henry Cavill could be a better Superman. And maybe if they take out more of the Dragon Ball Z antics of just destroying property and all that.
Yeah, I think like they're with Batman v Superman, they're really like correcting all the things I hate because I absolutely hate Man of Steel. Like, I absolutely.
I
It's
can't
not
even
the worst.
watch it. I can't
Yeah.
even watch it from beginning to end these days. It's like, nah.
It's not like Batman and Robin level bad, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, just as far as like stuff that doesn't make sense and things like that. My favorite thing that doesn't make sense, and this one doesn't bother people, is like when Kevin Costner is explaining how like he took the metal and took it to a scientist, and they told him like it wasn't from this world, it was nothing they'd seen before, and it's like, and then they just let me take it home, even though it could win them a Nobel Prize, and they never mentioned it again. It's just like there's so many things in the movie that doesn't make sense, and there's always things in superhero movies that don't make sense, but like that stretch.
And Man of Steel was just the worst. Like fucking like the whole, oh no, don't come save me from this tornado because I don't want people to know that you're
He could just
superpowered.
use his super breath.
Fuck that. If you're
could
my
just use
kid,
Yeah.
if you're my kid from another planet or whatever, and you have superpowers, and a tornado's about to fucking swallow me up, and you don't save me, not that I believe in ghosts or anything like that, but I will haunt the fuck out of you.
He could
You
just
don't
use,
come.
he could just use his super breath and like blown him toward him. Like, just like from a different angle. No one would know.
Nobody would have fucking saw him. He could have he could have flown like super duper fast, caught his dad, and maybe the dog that his mother cared about so much that she left the dog in the fucking car.
All that's unnecessary. All he would need to do is fly through the sun.
Pick up the tornado and throw it in the sun?
No, you just have to fly towards the sun.
Fly towards the sun, Clark. No, God, that movie was terrible. Terrible.
Have you read All-Star Superman?
Should I let them die, Dad? Maybe.
All-Star Superman was fucking good. And the animated movie did it justice.
Yeah, they only really they cut a few things out, and they actually have a better ending because the ending I like how they have like Lex Luthor's the one who's going to bring him back rather than just like have the scientists bring him back because that makes more sense in the movie. I was like, wow, they actually improved upon the comic a little bit with that at the end of the animated movie. I'm sorry it's not on Netflix anymore because I used to force people to watch it who wouldn't watch like cartoons. But it's not on Netflix.
They forced me to watch animated features, like make them watch Public Enemies and fucking Apocalypse, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, where they intro Supergirl. I think I have that one on DVD. And I have the Dark Knight Returns animated feature on DVD because it's fucking awesome. And Peter Weller, a.k.a. RoboCop, is old Bruce Wayne. Oh boy, so it's 10. I think we've gone a while. I think we can sort of wrap it up. Unless anyone else has anything to say or anybody else has any more tangents to go on. One last tangent before we sign off.
One more second.
Just saying hello, I guess. Or goodbye, I suppose. That's what we'll say. Goodbye.
Hello and goodbye.
Yes, hello and goodbye. And goodbye.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, all four of you, all four viewers watching. And thank you, kids. Bye.